Yes, people, welcome back to the DR Sports Transfer Show. My name is Dylan. I'm here to give you every single piece of big information coming out from the world of football transfers this month. It's the January transfer window. We are closing well into the final week, and clubs are looking to finalise as many deals as they can and plot their ideas for the summer transfer window. Now, we've been covering a lot of deals so far on DR Sports every weekday here, every morning, give you guys the latest on all transfers. And the one that's been talking about the last couple of days, as we covered yesterday, is Cole Palmer and Manchester United. So what was happening with Cole Palmer and Manchester United in the last few days is that Palmer, reportedly, is unsettled at Chelsea, misses life back home, doesn't want to join Man City or return to Man City, but would welcome talks with Manchester United. We all know that Cole Palmer is a big Man United fan, right? He's been a Man United fan from day one. There's photos of him as a kid in the shirt. He said in interviews openly on Sky Sports, etc. He's a United fan, but obviously he's dedicated at Chelsea. When he scored a hat-trick against United a couple of seasons ago, he was asked about it. He went, yeah, it's my boyhood club, but, like scoring the goals, X, Y, and Z. But at Chelsea, we know the turnover at Chelsea. We know that obviously Maresca is gone, Liam Rosenior's in. We don't know what his plans are like, etc., etc. So Cole Palmer feels he misses Manchester and wants to come back home. But what's been said today by Sky Sports is that Chelsea consider him untouchable. They consider Cole Palmer an untouchable player, and he is a big part of their plans, regardless of the links or not to Manchester United. So Chelsea obviously have him under contract until 2033, which is, that's what, 6.5 seasons away now. Like, that's 6.5 years left. He is under contract at Chelsea to play football, I guess, yeah. But there have been rumours of a release clause, but this is unconfirmed. The release clause stuff is kind of unconfirmed. But what Chelsea have said, their answer, the de facto answer to Manchester United is no. And now what we can take this two ways. Obviously, we can take the way at face value, or we can say, okay, clearly Chelsea, they don't want to sell him. They want to stay the star player they bought for £40 million. They see him as a potentially maybe even 9-figure transfer fee type player. Or the other side of it is it's just the beginning of posturing, because we don't know how true the rumours are about Cole Palmer and not really enjoying life at Chelsea. So obviously, because he's not talked about it, he's not actually openly said that he's unhappy or everything, but it's just a report suggesting that they are. So, they're from journalists like Samuel Luckhurst, for example, of reporting on Manchester United. He's generally quite good, but he's generally good for internal at Man United in terms of information coming out from inside the club, rather than information from agents or information from other clubs or information such as Chelsea or transfer news. So take that, with however much salt you want to take it. But Chelsea have said, nope, he's untouchable. He's not going anywhere near your club. But it's still one to keep an eye on, isn't it? Because let's say Chelsea don't get Champions League. Obviously, Man United, they've beaten City and they've beaten Arsenal since Michael Carrick came in, And if Chelsea then don't get Champions League football, let's say they don't finish in the top 5, or they don't, obviously they can go win the Champions League to get Champions League football, but that's not the most likely scenario in the world at the moment, is it? So if they don't get Champions League and Man United do, that could probably shift the balance of things. And United, they are looking for an attacker. Dorgu as well, out for 10 weeks, which is really, really, really bad timing for him. He was on his Bale arc. He was scoring some goals. He scored against City, scored against Arsenal, 2 huge, huge goals, but then came off about 10 minutes to go. Michael Carrick said, we hope it's cramp. And the reports are saying that it's about a 10-week injury. So United, he'll be back before the end of the season, but United will want an attacker. Obviously, Mateus Cunha's got an assist and got a goal against City and Arsenal. He's been fantastic off the bench. He will probably now start as a left winger, or maybe Šeško comes back in and Mbuma goes to left wing or something. But United do want an attacker. This is pre-Dorgu injury. They wanted a new attacker this summer, because obviously they got rid of 5 last summer, signed 3 new ones. Obviously, Shea Lacey's coming into the fold as well now, and Dorgu's becoming more of an attacking player. But they're looking for a new attacker, so which is why probably Cole Palmer, is on the radar. If he's unhappy at Chelsea, he's a United fan. He's a Manchester boy. He's from Wythenshawe, same place as Marcus Rashford. There is scope for it to be kept an eye on. But then meanwhile, at Chelsea, other news is that Raheem Sterling is expected to leave before the winter transfer window closes, with both parties in talks about securing an exit for the 31-year-old former England international, according to Fabrizio Romano. Now, as I said, there's not long left in the window. We've got 4 or 5 days maximum left of this transfer window. So Raheem Sterling and Chelsea really do have to have talks. There's been interest from Newcastle at one point. There were some links to other clubs as well, but nothing's panned out so far. They're still looking for someone, a new club for his representatives to speak to go on loan to. But as has been said, the entire window so far, Sterling wants a permanent exit. He doesn't want a loan. He doesn't want a loan with an obligation. He doesn't want possibilities of having to return to Cobham again in the summer. He wants to leave now permanently. Deal over, done at Chelsea. But they've only got a few days left to find out. So I think this could be something that could accelerate quite quickly. Maybe he will go to Fulham could be an example, because other news elsewhere is that Adama Traore, obviously at Fulham at the moment, looks set to join West Ham. Obviously he played for Wolves, set to join West Ham. So the news on that is Fulham winger and Adama Traore should sign for West Ham today on a permanent deal with the move subject to his medical. Again, that's being completed today. So the move should be finalised for Traore today. The 30-year-old is closely reported about £2 million switch from west to East London, where he'll be reunited with Nuno Espirito Santo, obviously, who was his manager at Wolves and made him the Adama Traore that lit up the Premier League at Wolves a few seasons ago. So this is what I mean in terms of Chelsea. Possibly Sterling could be going on a move to Fulham, because obviously they're close together. The two clubs, quite literally proximity. He wouldn't have to move cities, etc. So I do think, this is just my theory, but I do think that could be one that we could see. We could see the door open for Sterling to go to Fulham, because Traore is set to go to West Ham. Now, back to Manchester United, and a name that I think a lot of United fans, obviously including myself, aren't too happy with, and it's Andre Onana. There's a bit more coming out about the future of Andre Onana. Senna Lomans has been amazing in goal, only lost 2 games with United since he made his debut for the club at the beginning of October last year. He's been sensational. He's been fantastic for the club. Andre Onana is off. He went to Turkey to Trabzonspor, if I might have butchered that name. But regardless, he's only on loan. It's loan, no option to buy, nothing. They're paying his wages. That's it. So he will return to United in the summer. And the Daily Mail have reported that representatives of Andre Onana, obviously who's on loan in Turkey, have held talks about the Cameroon international returning to his former club, Inter Milan, this summer. So United signed him from Inter Milan for about £45 million a few summers ago. And now he could be going back there. So, but with Onana, is apparently he is refusing to give up on his United future. He's not given up on his future at United, but he will be sold in the summer. There is absolutely no way back for him whatsoever. The story is over. The story is done with Onana, but he's not giving up on it. He'll realise it in the summer that he has no place, and he'll sign for somewhere, possibly Inter Milan could be a good move for him, because they're looking for a replacement for, I believe, Jan Sommer. So he's like 37 years old, Jan Sommer. So he may be coming back to Inter Milan, back to Italy, back to where obviously he was very, very good. Could be the best for him. And then kind of elsewhere, Wolves are in talks to sign Andrew Gomez on loan from Marseille. Andrew Gomez, obviously ex-Man United Academy graduate, moved to Lille, and then Marseille. And Wolves were looking for possibly any sort of way of trying to get out of that bottom 3, but it's probably not happening. Meanwhile, Burnley are also making moves, according to Telegraph. They're in talks with West Ham over the signing of James Ward-Prowse on loan. Again, more creative midfielders heading down the table to try and find some spark, to try and find some creativity, to try and get out of those bottom 3 positions. Brighton have also turned down an approach from Nottingham Forest for Lewis Dunk, which is an interesting move. Nottingham Forest, obviously, they bid for Mateta the other day. They're clearly looking for reinforcements to try and go far in the Europa League, to try and, stave off relegation from the Premier League, despite finishing so late in the top 10, in the top 5 last year. It's absolutely crazy that Nottingham Forest are suddenly in this situation. And then the other bits of deals involve Aston Villa. So Aston Villa have agreed to re-sign Douglas Luiz on loan from Juventus. He will cut short his current loan at Nottingham Forest to sign for the club who sold him in 2024. Villa's need is greater after Yuri Tielemans was ruled out for 8 weeks with an ankle injury. So that's Boubacar Kamara is out. Yuri Tielemans also out. They need midfielders badly. So he's joining on a loan deal with the option for Villa to sign him in the summer, although it's yet to be widely reported what that fee, the option to sign him in the summer, will be. But do keep an eye out for that. And Aston Villa as well, they've confirmed the signing of Tammy Abraham from Besiktas for 18.25 million. 20-year-old has signed a 4.5-year deal. Obviously, back to Aston Villa, the club that he helped get promoted with an incredible season in the Championship when he was younger on loan from Chelsea. He's back. Funny enough, in this deal is Besiktas. What's happened is he was on loan at Besiktas from AS Roma. Besiktas had an option to buy that turned into an obligation for 13 million, or like 12, 13 million. They then moved forward that option to buy, bought him from Roma, and immediately sold him on to Villa, making about 7-8 million quid in profit. So, well done, Besiktas. But that is all the transfer news that has been going on Wednesday, 28th of January here on DR Sports. Do keep an eye on stuff. Let me know, where should Raheem Sterling go? What's your reaction to Cole Palmer and the Manchester United continuing drama? Adama Traore heading over to West Ham. Andrew Gomez possibly back in the Premier League. Do let me know in the comment section below who you think your club should be signing just before the transfer window closes. I'll see you soon. Cheers.